All right. Hey guys. How's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and staying safe. I know it is like so much going on in the world right now. So I hope that you guys are coping good. Let me just make a post that I'm live and so other folks can know I'm on, just in case that they want to join in. But yeah, I hope that you guys are chilling and hanging out with family and friends. Be sure to tune in. So I just made the post that I'm live. I'm not sure how many people are going to be in the room, but whoever does come in, welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, hey. All right, you guys. So as I said, there's so much going on in the world, and for those of you that are here in the States, there was a incident that happened in Buffalo, and condolences to those families. And there was actually an incident in, I think it was Uvalde, Texas. So condolences to those family members. Now I know myself, I actually went through I had to go through a mourning process because my brother actually was killed, and it was tough for me, and it was tough for my mom, tough for my dad, tough for my entire family. And even to this day, it's kind of difficult to process and work through. But the good thing is that I do believe in God, and I do understand that everything does happen for a reason. So I always know that. But just hearing these past stories of things that's been going on is very, very it's heartbreaking and devastating. And yeah, it's a lot. So, but anyway, like I said, I hope that everybody is doing okay for the most part. I did just want to go ahead and answer some questions that I did get. And I also wanted to go over a topic. I didn't put it in a description, but we're going to be talking about gaslighting and what it sounds like, because I do know that we hear gaslighting a lot, right, when talking about narcissistic abuse. But I feel like, maybe if we know what exactly to look for, or if we know what to listen for, if a person, it might be gaslighting us. And it really just depends on the situation. Not everybody is gaslighting you, but if you're dealing with a narcissist, a narc mom, a partner, or a friend, or a boss, or coworker, whatever, they may say these things to you. But before we do get into that, I do want to just go ahead and answer some questions that I did get. All right, and you guys, please feel free to chime in on this topic, on the topics that I talk about right now. But the first question is, what are some warning signs to look out for what are some signs to look out for when someone may be toxic or dangerous on social media? That's a really good one, because as you guys know, the guy that was the gunman in Uvalde, he posted things on his social media like guns and saying things that were offensive to people, and or just a person toxic in general. They can be very combative, they can be very negative, and just pessimistic, and they may have suicidal posts, suicidal thoughts, just very crazy, I guess, in a sense, very just not in their right mind, you know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, some signs is, just the things that they say, or just the pictures that they post. They may be alone a lot. They may not have any friends, or they may not have anything good to say at all. You know what I mean? And we do want to be mindful of that. And I did just, for those that want more info on it, I wanted to share this with you guys. It is, you can type in toxic people on social media. So it says, A few common signs, you can find this on wikihow.com, but it says a few common signs of toxic personality includes lying frequently, putting down others, and being excessively pessimistic. Yeah, for instance, if someone you know is constantly posting gloomy, self-pity statuses on Facebook to get attention, they may be toxic. Exactly. So, these are people that are just looking for attention. They want to play the victim. And, you just want to be mindful of this. Yeah, they're putting people down. They're trying to make people feel bad about themselves. And usually people that try to do that already feel bad about themselves anyway. And so they just trying to, project that onto you or the people that are in their following. So you do just want to be careful of that. But yeah, and, people posting weapons and promoting violence and, just overall dysfunction and negativity, those sorts of things, and bullying and, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, and I think I talked about this too in a prior video, but just as a reminder, signs of a person is toxic. So again, this person can make you feel like, emotionally exhausted after being around them. Actually, narcissists can do that too. But this is from the redonline.co.uk. So you guys want to check that out at a later time. But, they may try to intimidate you to get their way. They may try to control you by guilt tripping. They're easily jealous. It says they constantly see themselves as a victim. They give backhanded compliments and they're overly defensive. So be mindful of this. You know what I mean? So yeah, what else? I hope that is helpful for you guys. Yeah, 7 types of toxic people to avoid on social media. Yeah, and Kalam, you said they don't ever win. They always lose. I don't care about supply, right? Yes, Kalam. And I actually did get that from you. So shout out to Kalam because he was the one that asked me about the one question that we're going to talk about when it comes to does the narcissist win? Or is the narcissist winning? And Gary was the one that asked me about the questions, warning signs to look out that somebody may be toxic or dangerous on social media. So shout out to you too. And shout out to anybody that's watching and listening. Appreciate it. But yeah, going back to the toxic people on social media to avoid, I think I kind of said it. Yeah, so the secret envier, basically a person that's just envious in a sense. The person that's like passive aggressive, you want to stay away from those individuals. You do want to, the attention whore. Yeah, so be mindful of that. Somebody that's a troll, you have trolls online, people that just want reactions, but yeah, no, like just look at what a person is posting, look at their pictures, get a feel of who they are, see what they're doing on a daily basis. If it's negativity and just destruction and chaos and just gloomy and full of hate and anger and bitterness, and it's just like, oh, the world is out to get me, then you might want to be cautious about or around this person, you know what I mean? And but anybody that has like weapons on their profile pictures and posting it around with guns and stuff, be careful, All right, so the next question is how do we protect ourselves from toxic energy better? I think that's a good question. I think it's just about saying no, you know what I mean, and not apologizing for it and being assertive and standing your ground and setting boundaries to these individuals and just get comfortable with saying no. Just get used to it. And I know it might feel uncomfortable. I know, because we want to make everybody happy and we want to quote unquote do the right thing, or we don't want to make anybody upset, or we want everybody to like us or whatever. But it's just like at the end of the day, if a person has toxic energy, you being around that is not really going to be beneficial to you. It's only going to make you feel their energy, and it can actually come on And it can kind of come in on you, you know what I mean? And it can affect how you feel, you know, and especially like if you're an empathic person, then you know, we absorb other people's energies. We take it on as if it's our own, you know. And so if you're around a toxic person, let's say you were in a decent mood, by the time you leave this toxic person, or you're by the time you leave this toxic energy, then you are all upset. You are just all out of whack, and your emotions are, you know, all over the place because of being around this toxic energy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just, like I said, just being assertive, standing your ground, saying no, protecting yourself. And sometimes you have to be okay with being by yourself for a while, especially if you know these people aren't, you know, not saying that they're bad people. It's just, it's not in alignment for you. You know what I mean? It doesn't serve you. And so, yeah. So I hope that that is helpful. And if you guys have any things that you want to chime in on how you feel you can protect yourself better from toxic energy, chime in. I would love to know. And give this video a like, you guys. Let me know if this is helpful or anything like that. Let me know. All right. So you guys, the next question is there a way for us to finally address mental health in society in an effective way? That's a good question. Mental health in a society in an effective way. I think just maybe talking to, whether it's children, young adults, even adolescents, about the importance of mental health, about the importance of seeking counseling, coaching, therapy, you know, whether, or like support groups, or some sort of meetup where you discussed the benefits of having good mental health. And if it's your mental health is not in a good place, then reaching out for support, you know, getting that help, you know what I mean? And you know, I think it'll also be good to even have mental health in schools, or have mental health like start early as preschool or elementary school, middle school, high school, all that stuff, you know, and talking about the different personality disorders, talking about, you know, childhood traumas, and, you know, trauma bonds and soul ties and things that we deal with, especially after being a victim of narcissistic abuse, and the cognitive dissonance, and, you know, so much, the CPTSD, all of that stuff, you know. So helping children or teens, or even adolescents or adults, understand the benefits of having a good mental health, and helping them understand the benefit of knowing what your mental health is, you know what I mean, and treating it, and, you know, investing in your mental health, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, and I think this should definitely be something that is talked about, but it's not, you know, we don't really talk about mental health like that. But I think now it's growing as a topic. But I think in the past couple years, maybe even centuries, like, people don't really talk about mental health. And the sad part about it is that, you know, we'll have instances like, you know, the shooting in Uvalde, and also in Buffalo. And it's like, that is the impact of the mental health on what some people, how they are thinking in their head. And then also, you know, it's more than that, but it's like, you know, I think parents and teachers should discuss mental health issues. I really do. And I think, you know, the younger you can start talking to your children about it, the better, because it'll kind of help with understanding the world, society. They can understand themselves and other people, you know. So that's what I would say on that. So I hope that that answers that question. And then this actually kind of relates to what I was just saying right now. If someone is holding a gun in their profile photo, or sharing photos of weapons online, then that is a huge red flag. Yes, that's true. And like I said, you know, based off of what happened, and this actually, they've had like mass shootings like this. It's been a thing in America, unfortunately, for those of you that are not from America or you don't live here. That unfortunately does happen here. And excuse me, it's really sad. It's a very sad thing. And even just violence in general, I just think that, yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe people need to understand the value of human life and the value of living. And it's just it's a crazy world. I would definitely say that it is a crazy world. And like I said, I, heard about everything that happened in both situations in Buffalo and in Uvalde. And I was just like heartbroken for the families because, like I said, I lost my brother when I was 17 and I was devastated. And I had to leave my home from Delaware to move to California. And it was different. And I didn't know that my aunt was a narcissist. I was so innocent at that time, and just going from my everything that I knew to something completely different. It was it's a culture shock, but I'm happy that I did make it out. But like I said, just hearing those stories, it was just really, really sad to see all that happen. And honestly, I think like when my brother passed, it really helped me to like appreciate my life because he was young. My brother was like 20. And at the time I was 17 when it happened. And even to this day, like it still does hurt. And even my mom, to a certain degree, she hasn't really, I think she knows like what happened, but in a sense, she kind of had a nervous breakdown. And it was painful. It really was. And even my dad to this day, he still kind of, he accepts it, but every now and then he'll say like, talk about like the memories and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like what happened in Texas and New York, it's just like, I just send so many prayers and so many condolences to the families, because death is not easy, but it happens to all of us. That's a part of life, and we all are going to have to go down that path one day. So anyway, so moving on to the next topic. So Kalam, if you are still in the room, we're going to be talking about what you mentioned the last video that I made. You talked about your was it your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend? Your ex-girlfriend. And you were saying that she's with a new supply and you feel like she's winning, right? And a lot of people feel that way. I know I felt that way too. Like when I saw the narcissist move on to the new supply, I thought he was happy. I thought he forgot about me. I didn't think that he would like be stalking me online and having other people reach out to me and, calling my phone and hanging up and calling me from private numbers and having somebody call me and ask for him. Understand that this narcissist is not winning. It may look like they're winning because of, just what they're posting on social media, or you may hear through the grapevine that they traveled somewhere with the new supply, or maybe they even have a child with the new supply. I know when I found out that the narcissist had a child with the new supply, I was devastated, like super devastated. Like you can I really was, because in my mind, I thought like, oh, the narcissist is going to come back to me. Like he's going to wake up one day and realize the error in his ways. And he's going to see like what he did wrong. And that day never came, unfortunately. And, oh, your ex-girlfriend. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was the wife or ex-girlfriend. Yeah. So and we could feel like they're winning with that person and they're just so happy and they just look so good, or they're doing so well. And little do we know, behind closed doors, it's the complete opposite. And I can say that because, for one, the experience that I had with my aunt, how she always tried to make it seem like everything was okay on the outside, but in actuality, behind closed doors, it wasn't. And even with the male narcissist, he tried to make it seem like everything was okay, but it really wasn't, And so, but we could really, fall into that trap, or in our minds we could think like, yeah, like they're winning, like, you know, they got a family now, and they live in this location now, and they're driving this vehicle now, or whatever, they live in this this house, or you know what I mean, or they travel to this place, or they work at this job now, whatever the case is, and you're just like, oh, they're winning and I'm losing. It's like, no, they're not winning. It's like they're doing it on purpose. Like whether they're posting photos or videos or anything on social media, and they know that you can see it, they're going to post it because they know that you love them and you miss them and you actually did care for them genuinely, right? And yeah, they don't care about us, and so they want to hurt us at this point, because for one, whether we broke up with them or they broke up with us, and they have to go to another supply now, and so it's payback time for the narcissist. It's like we gave them a narcissistic injury and they're out for blood at this point, you know. So they're going to do anything to get your attention, to make you hurt, to make you regret, to make you cry, to make you feel sad, to make you feel depressed, to make you feel lonely, all that stuff. They're going to do all of that. Thank y'all for the like. But yeah, and so if we're watching that, then that's really going to get to us, and we're going to be in our minds and feeling like, oh, I did something wrong. Like, let me reach out to them and see what they're doing, you know, because obviously I'm the one that's in the wrong. But no, that's what they want us to think, but that's not true, you know? So yes, the narcissist is not winning. And then the other thing is, like, they lost us. Like, we were genuinely a good person and we cared about them. We wanted to be with them and we was willing to be there for them through all of unfortunately, through all the abuse. But the thing is, we fell in love with the false self, their false image, not who they really are. But it was just a representative of this narcissist. It wasn't who they truly are at the core when they're abusing us, when they're mistreating us, when they're talking down on us and gaslighting us and triangulating us. That's who they really are at the core, not the person that we met in the beginning, which we actually fell in love with that person in the beginning, but it wasn't real. You get me? So yeah, that's the thing. So I hope that that's helpful, Kalam. So hopefully that can ease your mind, help you to have some peace and understand what's going on. So yeah. But yeah, so the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is gaslighting. So you guys know what gaslighting is. It's basically, especially an abuser like a narcissist, they will make you second guess your reality. They make it seem like, you know, what you just heard, you didn't hear. What you know to be true is not true. Again, you question your reality. You question whether the sky is blue. You question whether the grass is green. And it's like, yeah, you see the grass is green, but the narcissist is telling you like, no, the grass is not green. You're like, it's green. And the narcissist is like, no, it's not. It's just like, really? So, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to go over some phrases that you might hear if you're dealing with a narcissist. And I got this from the Brain Coach. So definitely check her out. She's on Instagram. And I thought this would be really good, just in case if you hear it. And if you do hear it, just be on alert and understand that this might be an abuser and this person may not have your best interests. All right. Okay, so the first one, so gaslighting could sound like, and also keep this in mind, this is if you're dealing with an abuser and they have mistreated you, put you down, criticize you, they're starting to devalue you and degrade you. So keep that in mind when I read this. Okay, so this person could say that you're crazy because of the abuse that you're experiencing, because of what you're feeling, because of what you're going through. This narcissist can say this to you. Or it could also be like a borderline or a sociopath, a psychopath, if you some way, somehow come into interaction with them, right? So also this person could say, don't be so sensitive, right? Don't be so sensitive. They could also say, I was just joking. when actuality they're not. They're being serious, but they want you to believe that they're joking so they can continue the abuse, right? All right, so the next thing is a big one. I actually had this happen to me several times. That never happened. So that's what a gaslighting can sound like. That never happened, or I never said that. That was the narcissist that I dealt with, the male narc. He would always say that. He'd be like, "Oh, but that never happened," or "I never said that," when he literally just said it. And I'm like, "Huh? Like, what?" You know? So, and if there's any phrases that you have heard from your narcissist, share it. So maybe it can help someone, if they're in a situation with a narcissist, they can be able to identify it and it can maybe help them, right? So the next one is you're overreacting. That's another one. A person can say you're overreacting. When actuality you're not, you're just, responding to the abuse. All right. Don't get so worked up. That's another one. Don't get so worked up. That's another gaslighting. And the narcissist knows that you're going to get worked up eventually, because some of us, we hold it in. We may not call the narcissist out right away, but since it's different events and different times, maybe you kind of let it go, or you apologized, or, you're like, oh, like it's not a big deal or whatever. And then when you finally react, then they're like, oh, you're overreacting. This is like, no, I'm finally standing up for myself, something like that. Or I'm sorry, don't get so worked up, my bad. Yeah. And then the next one is there's no pattern. There's no pattern. That's another gaslighting, what a narcissist would say. And another one is you're imagining things. You're imagining things. That's what a narcissist will say. That's a gaslighting phrase. Another one is it doesn't mean anything. All right. It doesn't mean anything. So if they're abusing you, if they're gaslighting you, they say something that's really hurtful and harmful to you, then they're like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. Again, so they can continue to keep abusing you. Right. And if anybody is in the room, please feel free to chime in, say who you are, where you're from. I love to know. But I know you're in here, Cologne, but anybody else, you want to introduce yourself? And I just realized, you guys, isn't it Memorial Day tomorrow? So happy early Memorial Day to you guys out there. So yeah. And then the next one is it wouldn't be different anywhere else. It wouldn't be different anywhere else. So the narcissist is basically telling you, like, it's going to be how they're treating you. Everybody is going to treat you that way. It's going to be the same everywhere, which is not true, right? And the last one, you guys, is another gaslighting phrase is, I'm worried. I think you're not well. All right. I'm worried. I think you're not well. And this is something that they will say again after they've been abusing you and mistreating you and, been using you as an emotional punching bag, draining all of your energy, projecting themselves onto you. And after you get tired of it, after you get fed up with it, then they'll say, I'm worried. I think you're not well. Well, of course, you made me this way, but once you, again, can realize what you're dealing with, stand up to them and, speak up and speak out. But if you feel like, hey, they may overreact or they may go crazy, then that's when you want to just kind of practice not reacting and kind of distance yourself and gray rocking them. And in a sense, you have to emotionally detach and slowly but surely claim your independence from this individual. Because really, the narcissist only cares about power and control, right? So anyway, you guys, that's all I have. I know that this was a different type of video. I know with everything going on in the world, it's like, so much going on. And as I said, I just pray that everybody stays safe and is well, and keep God first. Love God. He loves us. And and I think I heard this one quote or not a quote, but I think I saw this on YouTube. They were saying, or Instagram, I forgot which one it was, but they said you come into this world alone and you die alone. And I think that's maybe something that I can leave with you guys, just for like inspiration and motivation to just keep living your life, and, you know, being around positive individuals, people that, you know, inspire you and uplift you, and that are doing things that you want to do, or things that excite you, or, you know, but yeah, and life is precious. And yeah. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Give it a like, share, and subscribe. Be safe. I love you guys so much. And if you guys want to reach out to me for any support, any advice, any guidance, definitely check out my website. I do have coaching. I do have readings. I have programs and video and audio courses. And you guys can look into that for further information. But other than that, I will see you guys next week. Take care. Love you so much. Bye, guys.